Well, hi folks, I'm chasing a pound yen opportunity here. I've had all the fractals fire here, got an alert. Now I know that I'm looking at trading short. We've made 59 pips for the day so far. We've just had a pullback just before I started this video, and we're just coming out of that pullback now potentially. So I've got the stochastics on M5 hooking round. I've got the histogram light coming on M5 for a short, and so we're hooking over at this point here. Now we're at this stage it's looking like quite a high probability short, but we just have to wait and see how this pans out and whether we can get a good entry into this. So we'll just keep following this. The other thing is we're right on a round number 143, which is, would cause a lot of people concern entering right on this number. But what I'm trying to do here is trade purely on fractals and what price action is telling me. So what I'm seeing is price is now starting to head downwards, and we've had a pullback, and we want to get in. So that's what we're doing right now. So and we're just about crossed over, ready to do the entry by the looks. Everything's going in our favour. So now we're seeing some news is coming in about 15 minutes on the Aussie. And what is it? Here it is up here in the list. No more news for another hour. Still got our downward move. I'm just pausing this video occasionally just as I see things happen. The THV on M1 is all going upwards right now, so we're still kind of in our pullback phase, and we're just looking to see if we can get a short trade out of this. So let's see what happens with the news. One thing you may want to do with a trade like this is switch to the M5 and consider possibly looking at the trend upwards, and this is what I was talking about, the putting your pending order underneath the trend line as it's pulling back. So you may want to be underneath these M5 candles. If you had been doing it on this one, you would have been in the trade already, but this is another way you can do this. So you could put a pending order just underneath this. If you put let's just do that for you. So if I put a trend line there, you may want to put a pending order just under this trend line, because you're aiming for when all the rules are met and the trade triggers in your favour. So let's just see how she pans out. I'll just keep pausing and coming back. So my trade has basically triggered now. I can see that everything's kind of set up. I could wait for the rest of the rules to be met, but on the THV, but who really cares at this stage? What we're seeing is definitely trend is down. We got our pullback. We are now heading downwards on the histogram here. Well and truly, this M5 is going to cross over shortly. M1's doing the same. We've got good slope on the M1 and M5. We'll probably get a pullback towards ourselves, but we're not too worried. We're trading with the trend. We're in there. I'm currently sitting at 15 pips in profit. So, I mean, I could cash that in now. Once I get to my 24, easy, just cash it out, and there's your day's trading done. So, we'll just see where this goes. I'm just eating some lunch at the moment, so we'll see where we end up. So, news is 2 minutes away on the Aussie. You can see this flashing here. That's just to get your attention. For me, I look at all news. That's Aussie news, and we're trading the pound yen. Look, I've seen the whole market move based on Aussie news in the past, so I'm going to be watching what's going on. It's considered a medium impact news item, but I've seen the market move on low impact news items. So that's why I've listed all the news. I want to know all the news as it's occurring to see how it's going to affect my trade. If my trade reverses on me because of this news, I'm going to get out. Otherwise, I'm going to be just trying to hold here, try and make a few more pips. I want to get my 24 pips. I am in this trade and I'm sitting at 19 pips at the moment. I only need another 5 and that's me done for the day, really. So we'll just see what happens with the news. Now, if you've got this set up the way I have, I like to set it so that you hear a signal when the news occurs. By the way, I've made my daily target now, so I'm happy. So look at that, how easy is that? Now, did you hear that click? Now that click is when any alert you have disappears, you can set it so that you can hear a click. So for me, I wanted to hear when the news item actually activated, and there it is there at the 00. So now that Aussie News is being taken on board by people, still happy with everything. We're still down, everything's down. Very good, very good. It's not typical for us to get beyond this kind of point during this session, so I'm quite mindful of that. So it might be consideration for pulling. I'm going to put a possibly put a stop in just to lock in some profit shortly, because I'm worried that we might not get past this length here. But it's not uncommon. Price will do what it will. So news doesn't seem to be having an adverse effect on my trade, which is great. The big thing to note here is I'm looking at the M5 time frame, and I'll just show you with an entry like this. These are just fantastic, and I know that the pound yen is a bit of a beast, but you know, your entry can be there. I actually entered a little bit earlier than that. I entered back up in here. I was following this up with an order. I was confident to enter there, but basically, if you entered here, what would your pullback be? Well, that's not the pullback, but initially you might have had a 15 pip stop. Let's just go down to the M1 and see if we got an idea of what the pullback was. Right, well, the trade was entered right on this point here, and basically this is a trade where there was just no pullback against your entry. You would not have been negative, quite likely, on this trade at all. So these are beautiful entries. These kinds of entries, I love them. So I'm sitting at 33 pips now. Let's just go back to M5. I'll go to M15 now, just so we can see what's really going on there. And I'll just pause for a second, come back on shortly. We might get a pullback soon, but heck, I've easily made my profit for the day. And now we've been going for a little while in this trade, we really need to start considering our exit. What I'm seeing right now is I've got slope on my M15 here on the stochastics, so it's still looking pretty good that way. But we are reaching quite an important point in the trade. We're at about 30 pips, which is typically, I wouldn't expect a lot further than that. So potentially lock on the 24, take out the 30, just whatever way you want to go. So for me, probably looking to exit the trade at this point. I'm starting to see the M1 turn back on itself here. The M5 and the M1 tricks have entered into the oversold areas, so potentially time to bail. Also, the M1 stochastics is pointing upwards, and the M5 stochastics is starting to point upwards too. So, you know, there was a nice little trade, 30 pips, pretty easy, and hope you enjoyed that trading example using my strategy.